अज्ञानतिमिरा ज्ञानाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। स्थापितं येन भूत स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वयं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे।
Prabhu, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Prabhu.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhu. We can hear you.
Now is much better.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's do it. Okay, Sundara Kanda, chapter 36. We will continue from verse 12 onwards.
Okay, sure.
A lot of people talking in the background. Okay. So, Sitadevi said to Hanumanji, Sri Ramachandra, who's very, very intelligent and very exacting, would not have sent you here to speak with me unless he has completely tested you. And therefore, I am comfortable talking with you. If he has approved and he has examined you, then you are trustworthy. So today she begins with Dishtya cha kushali ramo dharmatma satya sangraha lakshmanascha mahatejas sumitra ananda vardhanaha. Previously, when she had asked about Sri Rama and Lakshmana, Hanumanji said, Kushali Ramaha. Ramachandra is doing okay. He's doing well. Now, Hanuman is not lying, but since he is meeting Sitadevi, he has seen that has been crying, her eyes are swollen, she hasn't eaten, she hasn't slept, she's been rolling on the ground, her clothing is all wrinkled and muddied from the dirt around. At that time, if he said something about Sri Rama, she may not have taken it well. So in general, he said, Kushali Rama. Rama and Lakshmana are both doing okay. Like when you're walking on the street, you may be dealing with something and people say, hey, how are you? Then you say, I'm okay. He's just met Sita Devi and he hasn't fully revealed. So, but Sita Devi has caught on to that word, Kushali. Oh, really? He's doing well. So then she asks a range of questions. And these can be taken in one of two ways, or either way is fine. Some commentators explain one way, another commentator explains another way. One is she asks questions out of doubt. Another is she becomes angry. This anger is called mana. And this mana comes from having such an intense relationship with the Lord. It's called pranaya. Pranaya means a very, very intense, almost indivisible, non-differentiable oneness with the Lord. Now, this oneness doesn't mean one's own identity goes away. It means that the love is so intense that a person behaves like, thinks like the other person. And there's a reference for this even in Prahlad Maharaj's story. So she says, the reason for her showing mana is one, she has to allow Hanuman to see the full range of the love between her and Sri Ramachandra. Because Hanumanji has seen, as Rupa Goswami has taught us, he has seen or he has heard about their love and affection before they met, just from the ring that she saw and how she behaved with the ring. Then as far as Pravasa, that she's been staying away for a very long time, he has seen and now he has also heard or hearing from her. Another feature of love in separation is mana, which she's going to demonstrate for him, so that he is taken through the entire range of Vipralambha, Rasa and Bhava. So she says, oh, I am, it is such fortune that Rama and Lakshmana are both Kushali, that they are doing well. But she refers to Ramachandra as Dharmatma and Satya Sangraha. But the adjectives used for Lakshmana are different. She calls him Mahatejaha and Sumitra Anandavardhana. So in this, the Acharyas say that there is the distinction that in one sense she is annoyed with Ramachandra, and the annoyance is she calls him Dharmatma. The Dharmatma is that Ramachandra will not do anything outside the boundaries of Dharma. So yes, it is his Dharma to protect me. But it is also, he will follow that Dharma, that he will do and he will find a solution in the right way. It's not just any way. So because he has to find the right solution that is dharmically pristine, it is taking him time. And Satya Sangraha, that under any circumstance, Sri Ramachandra will not bypass, cut short, shortcut as we say, cut short, or circumvent truthfulness. And these things take time. So she's telling Hanuman indirectly that, oh, he is very Dharmatma. He is Satya Sangraha. So he's not going to come quickly. On the other hand, Lakshmana, Mahateja, very, very powerful, but he understands perhaps the pain in my heart because Sumitra Anandavardhana. He is interested in enhancing the joy of Sumitra. So he has a little bit more understanding of the heart of a woman. This is part of the pranaya mana. So please understand the tone or the mood in which it is spoken. And then she now tests or quizzes Hanuman because he had said Kushali Rama. So she says, Kushali yadi kakutstha kim na sagara mekhalam mahim dahati kopena yuganta agnirivotthitaha. Really? Is Ramachandra okay? He's doing well. If that is the case, how is it that he has not become angered like the fire that devastates the entire universe or earth at the end of a yuga? Although this earth is covered by water, Sagara Mekhala. Mekhala is a waistband. So if you look at the earth, water all around it looks like a waistband. So even if there is so much water, Ramachandra's anger can completely dry up the entire ocean. So why hasn't he done it? Is he really doing well? Then she says, Athava Shaktimanto tau Suranam api nigrahe Mamaiva tuna dukkhanam asti manye viparyayah. You know, these two, Ramachandra and Lakshmana, have so much power in them that they can even subdue the demigods. Not just one, but all of them combined, they can be subdued by just two of them. Yet they haven't done it. So all I can conclude from this is my fate or destiny is very, very strong. It is so strong that dukkhanam asti na viparyaya manye. I consider that this is the providential situation that I can't get away from. Otherwise, by this time, Ramachandra should have dried up the ocean and walked here or come here. Then she asked Hanuman, is Rama really doing okay? This entire 16 sets of verses have the word kachit in them. Kachit can be used as I am sure, I hope, I trust. When we write to somebody a letter, we say, I trust you're doing well. It's another way of asking, how are you doing? Or that I hope you're doing well. So the word kachit is used as I hope, I trust. Is it not that way? So she says, oh, really? Is Ramachandra not feeling any sense of depression that I have been separated? Does he not feel helpless? Is he taking necessary steps for for recovering me back from Lanka? Maybe he's not that depressed or perplexed, or maybe he's attending to all his work very well. Maybe he's performing all his duties that are expected of a prince, of a man. So as I'm reading these, you can take it, as I said previously, from either side. Okay. So from the doubt side, it would mean, is Ramachandra really doing well? If so, tell me, Hanuman, that he is performing all his duties properly. Tell me that he's not just sitting in some corner, completely perplexed or depressed and unable to or unmotivated in doing any activities. That's the side of doubt. And the side of mana or anger is, really, if he's doing well, that means, is he not concerned about me? He must be just doing all his duties. He must be conducting and taking care of all other things and not putting me as the priority right now. That's either way you can look at it, and both are valid. Then she says, okay, Hanuman, tell me, if Ramachandra, who can completely burn his enemies, how is he dealing with his friends and those who are his enemies? Is he working with Sama and Dana with his friends, and Danda and Bheda with his enemies? Because that's the right way to conduct oneself. Because when it comes with friends, it should always be Sama and Dana. One should be trying to pacify the situation and not make the situation worse by argument or confrontation. And if something is difficult and there is a lock jam or a tie, one should have Dana. One should just give in if required in friendship and say, you know what, it doesn't matter. I am sorry. Let's just, make peace. But with enemies, he should be thinking about, instead of Sama and Dana, one should be thinking about Danda and Bheda. Is he employing these strategies? I hope he has a good team. I hope he has made good friends. Then she says, if he has made new friends, is he honoring all his allies? Because unless you take care of your friends and allies, how's a human being able to accomplish anything in life? Generally, one may say, I don't need anybody. That's not true. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has described that for all humanity, they need the help of the demigods. They are their human beings' allies. I've made a system by which the demigods will become pleased and they will benefit and help every human being. So there's nobody as a human being who can traverse through life without friendships, without making alliances, without taking the help of others. It's just not possible. And one who thinks they can are living a pipe dream. Then she asks, does Ramachandra pray to the gods? Does he take their blessings? Because without grace, this is another practical example. Whatever one may want to accomplish, one may have the skills, one may have the intelligence, one may have the wisdom, but without grace, it's not possible to accomplish anything. So is he praying and seeking the blessings of the gods? Or is everything is simply on his own effort? Actually, it's always a combination, grace and work. We work to receive grace in our sadhana practices. The work that we engage in is the demonstration of effort to Krishna and to the acharyas that I am interested in chanting of the holy name. I am interested in studying scripture. I'm interested in hearing. When one expresses that eagerness, then grace descends, by which it's not just jnana, but one gets vijnana. And then she says, I hope Ramachandra has not reduced his love for me in separation, which is an indirect way of saying, he is a Kshatriya. His father is Dasharatha, who has more than almost 350 queens. He can always go marry someone else. I want to know if he has that, because I'm separated from him. Is he considering? Has his love for me diminished in any way? Oh, Hanumanji, I hope that he will liberate me from this condition. And in this sloka, Valmiki uses the word pravasa. Without Rupa Goswami, we would not understand the import of that word pravasa. So pravasa, Rupa Goswami defines as being separated for a very long time or by a very long distance. So because it has been such a long time, has his love for me reduced? Because maintaining long distance loving relationship is not easy. Then she says, I hope Sri Ramachandra, who deserves all happiness, is not suffering in any way on my account. Because as I am sad, I am convinced that he must also be. So, but you're saying he is doing okay. So I hope that he's not suffering. Because when a person is suffering, it motivates them to do something of it. And happiness makes a person complacent. So she's questioning, is he doing something about relieving me? I hope that he regularly receives news about the welfare of Kausalya, Sumitra, and Bharata. The hidden hint is I know for a fact that he loves Kausalya, Sumitra, Bharata very, very much. And he's constantly thinking of them for the past 13 years that we've been together. And each time he's thinking about them, somehow or the other, he gets news about them. And he understands what Kausalya and Sumitra feel like, what Bharata must be going through with separation. So is he also understanding what is happening in my heart? These are all the words of a completely devastated lover. Nayiki, the heroine of this wonderful drama called Ramayana, in which the love in her heart is being churned in different ways, which is part of the brooding or the mana that she's expressing to Hanuman. I hope Ramachandra has not become absent-minded, that he's so engrossed in his own sorrow that he's not remembering me, that he's not doing something for me. I hope he will come across this ocean and save me. And not just Ramachandra. I'm sure the news must have reached Bharata, who by himself will bring an entire Akshauhini of army and all his ministers to come save me. Because Bharata may understand that Ramachandra is in severe pain of separation. Maybe you're telling me that he has made friendship with Sugriva. So I hope Sugriva, who's surrounded by all you Vanaras, who the only weapons you have are nails and fangs. And you will use them and somehow reach here. Maybe Lakshmana. Again, she calls him Sumitra Anandavardhana twice, that he's so devoted to Sumitra Devi, who has such mastery over weapons, that he will completely decimate all these Rakshasas just by his arrows, and he will come save me. Will I see the day when Ravana and all of his relatives are finished in battle from the fiery arrows of Rama and Lakshmana? Please tell me, Hanuman, that Ramachandra, who has a face that looks and shines like the full moon and has a fragrance like a lotus, has not become pale. Because he too must be crying in separation, and his face must have become withered and pale, as if a pond of lotuses has been scorched by heat and all the lotuses have wilted. Is he like that? Or I hope he's like that, or I sense he must be like that, but you're telling me he's doing okay. Ramachandra, because of his vow to his father and mother Kaikeyi, brought me along into the forest and we walked on foot. At that time, he had no fear. He had no anxiety, no grief at all in his heart. In fact, he was so much patient and he was so much stoic. I hope he's still like that, because these are all indicators that he's doing well. You tell me, Hanuman. I also know that his love for me is far superior than his love for his father or even mother, or for that matter, for anyone else. Oh, Hanuman, the messenger. Now that you've told me that you're here and I've heard about Sri Ramachandra, somehow I have this desire to survive for some more time to hear any news about Sri Ramachandra. I will not give up my life. Having spoken like this, iti iva devi vachanam maha artham, words with great meaning. Of course, We may not be able to dig out every meaning because these are words from Sitadevi, and I mean, how is one to fully access all the deep meanings? But Valmiki says, Maha Artham tam Vanarendram Madhurartham Uktva. So she has whatever she has spoken has deep meanings, but also has very sweet meanings. The sweetness is the love and the sense of agony and annoyance in that love. Shrotum punastasya vachano abhiramam ramarthayuktam virarama rama. One shloka has so many words with Rama. Shrotum punastasya vacho abhiramam ramarthayuktam virarama rama. Shrotum. Hanuman heard the words from Rama. That is, words of Rama is the last word in the shloka, Rama. And how were those words? Abhiramam. They were extremely pleasing to the heart. Ramartha Yuktam. And they were very suitable for Ramachandra. Virarama. This wonderful Sitadevi just became quiet after speaking these very sweet words of deep meaning and of great sweetness. So we're going to go to chapter 28 of Nectar of Devotion. And I'm just going to read you two short paragraphs. In this chapter, Rupa Goswami describes existential love, the Sattvika Bhava. These are heightened states of ecstasy. And Prabhupada writes, there are 8 symptoms of existential ecstatic love: becoming stunned, perspiring, standing of the hairs of the body, faltering of the voice, trembling of the body, changing of bodily colors, shedding of tears, and devastation. All of these are present in Sitadevi. Then Prabhupada continues, the symptom of being stunned is caused by ecstatic tribulation, fearfulness, astonishment, lamentation, and anger. And all the verses that we read have all of this. This symptom is exhibited by a stoppage of talking, a stoppage of movement, a feeling of voidness, and an extreme feeling of separation. So where he says stoppage of talking, Valmiki tells us, Shrotum punastasya vacho abhiramam ramartha yuktam virarama. She stopped talking. She could not speak again anymore. She was stunned. And that stunned sensation is coming from ecstatic tribulation, fearfulness, astonishment, lamentation, and anger. So Hanumanji, he himself is wowed by what is going on here. He has to do something. Hanuman didn't know what else to do because in his entire life, he hasn't seen such expression of divine love with such ecstasy. So, Sitaya Vachanam Shrutva Marutir Bhima Vikramaha. Although he is a person with very, very great might, Bhima Vikrama, and he can perform Herculean tasks, such a person became so unarmed or disarmed, not unarmed, disarmed, that Shirasya Anjalim Adhaya Vakyam Uttaram Abravit. All he could do is put his hands to his head and bow down to Sitadevi. Because even a strong, mighty person like Hanuman has completely melted and cannot do anything else but to bow down to Sitadevi and her love for Sri Ramachandra. He has seen Ramachandra and he knows what kind of love he has for Sitadevi, but only after seeing Sitadevi that his entire realization of what it is, what kind of love she carries, has his entire range of rasa tattva opened up for him. And he says, "Oh, lotus-eyed Sita Devi, Kamala Lochane, Rama does not know that you are here. Had he known, he would have immediately taken you away. He doesn't know yet. Just the way Indra rescued Shachi Devi, he would have come and taken you away, but he's not unaware. He's still figuring out, he's wondering where you are. But as soon as he hears from me your whereabouts, he will arrive here soon with all the Vanaras." She had asked Kakutstha, is he doing his duties well? So then Hanumanji answers that Kakutstha Sri Rama will uh, completely overtake the abode of Varuna, which is the ocean, by his torrents of arrows, and he will rid the city of Lanka of all the demons, including Ravana. In fact, whoever comes in Ramachandra's way, not only demons, if the demigods cause any impediments, in fact, even death, if it shows up, Ramachandra will destroy all of that, all of them for you. In fact, not being able to see you, Sri Ramachandra is completely immersed in sorrow. He's drowning in an ocean of sorrow. And he has absolutely no solace. He's just like an elephant that has been tormented by a lion. A lion has very, very sharp fangs and nails, and it can dig into the thick skin of the elephant. And although elephant can be very strong, when a lion attacks from the back, the elephant can't do much. So although Ramachandra is so strong, he's being tormented by the lion of separation, or the lion of sorrow of separation. Oh, Sita Devi, I swear to you on all the great mountains like Malaya, Vindhya, Meru, Dardura, which is the abode of all the monkeys and bears, and by the roots and fruits, which are the food of the Vanaras. You will soon see Sri Ramachandra with beautiful eyes, red lips like the bimba fruit, lovely earrings, and a face that resembles the full moon. I promise you it will happen soon. You, Sita Devi, will soon see that Ramachandra, who right now is sitting on Mount Prasavana. And he will appear to you like Indra, the king of all the demigods, seated on his own Airavata. He'll appear so to you. But until then, I have to tell you, I told you that he is Kushali, but this is his actual condition. And this verse that I'm going to read right now is one of the most favorite verses in the entire Ramayana, especially in the Sundara Kanda. And I will send it to you as well. He says, Na, oh, not yet, sorry, that's coming up. So he says, Ramachandra is not eating. The verse particularly says, Na mamsam raghavo bhunakte, na chapi madhusevate, vanyam suvihitam nityam, bhaktam ashnati panchamam. Now, this is where things get a little cloudy, because when you read directly, it seems like he is not eating meat, he says. Na mamsam raghavo bhunakte, na cha api madhusevate. He's not drinking any beverages or alcohol. So apparently in India right now, there is a massive debate of persons saying the Ramayana has verses and words such as mamsa, which indicate that Ramachandra actually ate meat, which is not true, because there are multiple commentaries and acharyas who have given us what those words mean. So, for example, in the Sanskrit dictionary, the word mamsa, yes, applies to meat. But mamsa also means a, a bunch of fruit, like grapes are always in a bunch. So the mamsa means not eating fruits in bunches, which means he's eating only one or two. In the Mahabharata, there is a reference to Yudhishthir Maharaj telling that the entire life Ramachandra did not eat any meat, etc., etc. If you like, I'll send you a link to one of the scholars who went through a lot of meanings, showing us from different books and different scriptures that Ramachandra did not eat. In fact, if you remember, in the beginning of Aranya Kanda, near the end of Ayodhya Kanda, Ramachandra makes a promise that I will not be eating any meat. I will not be eating any cooked food. I will only be eating food that I get from the forest that are growing on trees or the roots and tubers. And I will live a life of brahmacharya, etc., etc. So Hanumanji, what's more important for us, because we're dealing with the rasa, he says he's not eating fancy foods. He's not eating or drinking honey that is so well available in the forest, because honey is madhu sevate. He's not taking honey, meaning he's not enjoying anything. In fact, bhakta, bhaktam ashnati, food that is eating is panchamam, 1/5 the quantity that would otherwise even consider eating. 1/5 means absolutely not eating anything, literally just, as we say, keeping body and soul together. And then this is that verse which is my favorite one. Naiva damshanna na mashakan na kitan na sarisrapan raghavo apanayed gatrat tvadgaten antaratmana. Fantastic verse. Na naiva damshan. He's not even driving away any fly. Damshan, fly. Na mashakan, any mosquitoes that are sitting on him. Kitan na. Na kitan. Na, he's not brushing away any insects that are crawling on him. Na sarisrapan, or even snakes that are crawling on him. Raghavo apanayet gatra. He apanayet is not even brushing them away from his body. Why? Tvadgatena antaratmana. His mind is completely absorbed in you. This phrase of Tvadgatena antaratmana is a state that we desire to achieve in order to feel and be connected fully with Krishna. And Krishna appreciates such connection. Remember this phrase, Tvadgatena antaratmana. Let's go to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse number 47. Krishna is describing to Arjuna the entire Dhyana Yoga process. And then he says, and Arjuna says that this is not for me, Krishna. Tell me something that I can do. This yoga system is very difficult. Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham. Doesn't matter what kind of yogi they may be. Sitting in the middle of 5 fires, doing very intense asanas, pranayama, dharana, whatever they are doing. Yoginam api sarvesham. Madgatena antaratmana. Shraddhavan yo bhajate mam same yukta tamo matah. I consider that yogi to be the supreme most, whose mind and heart are constantly absorbed in me. Shraddhavan, with faith. Madgatena antaratmana. And that is what Ramachandra is feeling for Sitadevi. Madgatena antaratmana. He's not eating. He's just sitting like this in a very desolate condition. In fact, we even wonder if he's breathing or not because he's sitting so still. And any one of us knows if a fly comes anywhere near our ears or face, even without thinking about it, our reflex will be to brush it away. That's just reflex. If a mosquito bites us, the reflex is to hit exactly where it is biting. Or if a worm, let's say a centipede, crawls anywhere near us, forget about on us, anywhere near us, you've seen people yell, scream, shout. They become so freaked out by such bugs and worms. But a centipede is crawling on Ramachandra. Flies may be sitting on him. Mosquitoes may be biting him. He doesn't do anything because his reflexes are not there. He's so absorbed in you. Okay, one may say, okay, fly, mosquito, some bug. What about snakes? When snakes are crawling on him, he doesn't notice. He doesn't even feel them. Why? Tvadgatena antaratmana. His mind is completely fixed on you. Nityam dhyana paro Rama. Constantly in meditation of you. Ramo nityam shokaparayana. And that meditation is enhancing and deepening his sorrow for you, is the loss that he has, that he's separated from you. Nanyat chintayate kinchit. He's not even thinking anything else. Tu kama vasam gataha. Kinchit sa kama vasam tu gataha. Because he's completely enamored by this love for you. Is so intense that he's not having any other thoughts. Not only that, anidras satatam. He's not been sleeping. Just the way you have not slept, he has not slept. Ramas supto apicha narottamaha. And even by chance, if he's sitting down and thinking about you, awake all night, and by mistake, if his eyes close or he dozes off, as soon as he dozes off, Sita iti madhuram vanim vyaharan pratibudhyate. As soon as he becomes aware, he says, Sita, Sita. So constantly you are chanting Rama, Rama, and he's chanting Sita, 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 whole time. Drishtva phalam va pushpam va yadvanyastu manoharam. If he sees flowers, if he sees the fruits, or he sees anything that is pleasant to be seen in the forest, bahusho ha priya itya evam swasan tvam avibhashate. With every breath, when he sees a fruit, a flower, a nice river, mountain, nice scenery, birds, whatever, bahusho, constantly, ha priya, oh Sita, my beloved, oh my beloved Sita, swashan stvam avibhash. With every breath, that's all he's saying. Oh my dear Sita, oh my dear Sita, my darling, I'm missing you. Sa Devi nityam paritapyamanaha tvameva Sita iti avibhashamanaha. Dhrutavrato rajasuto mahatma tava eva labhaya krita prayatnaha. Dhritavrata, very, very determined. Rajasuta, he's a prince. Mahatma, greatest soul. Tava eva labhaya krita prayatna. He is constantly endeavoring just to achieve you. Sa Devi nityam paritapyamanaha. He's constantly agitated. He's burning. His heart is burning. Tvam eva Sita iti abhyavasamana. And only words coming out of his mouth are Sita, Sita, Sita. That is his condition. As soon as Sitadevi heard this, her heart became calmed. She felt a cooling sensation. And at the same time, there was burning in the heart. And how is one to explain this? How is one to experience this? Sa Rama Sankirtana, Sa Rama Sankirtana Vita Shoka. As soon as she heard this Sankirtana, Hanumanji speaking, Rama Sankirtana Vita Shoka, all her sorrow went away. Ramasya Shokena Samana Shoka. And suddenly she felt the same distress that Ramachandra is feeling for her. Very clashing emotions here. Sharan Mukhe Sambudesha Chandra Nisheva Vaideha Suta Babhuva. What a fantastic, what's called Slesha comparison. And not Slesha, Utpreksha, it's an analogy. Valmiki tells us that her face, Vaideha Suta Babhuva, the daughter of Videha, became like the night in the beginning of Sharad Ritu, in the beginning of autumn. Sharan Mukhe, at the beginning of Sharad, Sa Ambuda Isha Chandra. Ambuda Isha Chandra, the Lord of the ocean, which is the moon. Nishi Eva, like the night of the Sharat. What is the night of the Sharat? The dark monsoon clouds are just, whatever remaining dark monsoon clouds are there, they are slowly going away. So the night is still covered with clouds. They've all not gone away. So the moon, although it is shining, because it is covered with the residual clouds, the night feels dark. So Sita Devi's moon-like heart, although shining, is not able to fully shine because there is this clouds of sorrow still residual there, although she has heard from Hanumanji. So that ends chapter 36. Let's see if there are any questions, comments, reflections. What a rasa book, huh? Ramayana. It has so much, and thanks to Srila Rupa Goswami's help and what we call a rubric, we can measure against and pick out a few things. Although the ocean has unlimited water, we're becoming happy by a few drops. Okay, any comments, thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my
Hare.
humble obeisance. Prabhu, I was thinking, every class, I feel like this tops the chart, this class. It is so much to absorb and just, initially when you were talking, I was thinking, okay, here you go. This teaches us how to even talk, right? Like, the way she's expressing, like you said, her eyes are swollen. But then when she starts to talk, there is this natural progression, even though, there is this pranaya and this other doubt. Still, it was just so cultured, if for a lack of a better word from my side. So I was thinking, okay, this is a great class on just, how to talk. And then you started talking about all those rasas, and I was thinking, oh, wow, this is a great class on how, Rupa Goswami has, he's revealing these inner mysteries of these pastimes. And then you talked about Lord Rama, and the word Mamsa, and, I also came about this discussion, and it is very sad that, how Lord Rama is misunderstood on the one hand, but on the other hand, these secrets are just, in a way, like we say in Bhagavad Gita, like Maharaj says, this is confidential, meaning it's said out and aloud, but then we don't get it. We only get it through acharyas, their words
Right.
and their realizations. And so important to hear from them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I had so many questions that came to my mind, but I think right now this is one of my favorite classes. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. This chapter is one of my favorite chapters too. It has this verse, na damshan, na masakan, na kitan, na sareshrupan. Is such a, I mean, the visual of
Yeah.
what Ramachandra is going through. And we hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is demonstrating. And he has this mood of Radharani. So on that side, Sita Devi is feeling this pang of separation. I mean, it's so much there. It's such a lovely chapter on the love they carry for each other. Sometimes people have a doubt. I'm the one who's doing all the upavas, the tapasya, the chanting. Does he even think of me? Am I in Sri Ramachandra's or Sri Krishna's, thought? Does he even know me? Does he even think about me?
I was also
And for
thinking of the sorry.
no, it's all
Please.
right. So Hanumanji is assuring, oh, don't, just because you can't see him and he feels far away, for us, this is what he's anticipating. He's waiting. He's devising ways and means by which we can come back to him. This is such a faith builder. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was also thinking of the parallel between Uddhava getting a peek,
Yes.
from, Radharani talking to a bumblebee, and here Hanumanji is, and it is because of them that we can also get an idea, a glimpse. Not definitely not to that extent that they have received, but at least, a sneak peek. Yeah, it's very moving how, like you said, how the Lord feels for us. And that whole Tvad Gaten Antaratmana, that was also very, very beautiful. So thank
Yeah.
you, Prabhu.
Uddhava is, thank you for bringing that up. Uddhava is such a, what's it called? Intimate friend and devotee of Krishna. The Krishna said, to take you to a whole different level, go to Vrindavan as a messenger. So although he's bringing the message, but it's actually for benefit of Uddhava, that once he meets the women of Vrindavan, what it does to him, it opens up for him what this love is all about. And same, Hanumanji is sent to meet Sita Devi. Although he's carrying the message, Hanumanji is the one that is astounded by what's going on. And the word speakers, right? Valmiki says, oh, he's such a strong personality, but all he can do is fold his hands, put them on his head, and say, my gosh. Okay, anyone else? Thank you for sharing that verse, Anu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my
Yes.
obeisances. Prabhuji, just hearing the verse which you explained, that as it is said, action speaks louder than words. And also, Hanumanji is known for his eloquence. So, truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. So, he just spoke one or two verses and he brought the whole confidence in the heart of Sita Devi.
Right.
That Lord Ramchandra is definitely, putting his all efforts to find her, and he's yet to know where she is.
Yes.
So immediately, I mean, it's not like presence of Hanumanji is bringing all this hope. Now she knows exactly that what is going to happen, and then she has the full confidence. So that's very wonderfully depicted by Valmiki ji here.
Yes, it's true. Actions speak louder than words. It's not true in the case of Valmiki. Valmiki's words speak louder than actions. That is his blessing, that what he can bring out just by writing something, he paints pictures by his words.
I meant Lord Ramchandra's, means Sita Devi was doubting, right, whether Lord Ramchandra is really thinking about her or not. So when his actions, that he is has become so careless about anything else, that particular action depicted by Hanumanji brought the confidence in the heart of Sitadevi. That's what I was speaking about.
And that's why it's called mana. It's part of that whole churning in her heart. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble
Oh,
obeisance.
you're here. I didn't think you'd join us. Hey, nice to hear your voice.
Thank you for another, as was Sana Mataji put, a very endearing class, bringing us Mother Sita closer to our hearts. It was so nice to hear her wonderful glories, her mood. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And my question is like very similar to Mother Sita's mood that you brought out very nicely today. Is Rama not missing me? Kushala, I mean, like the word Kushala here. I mean, it's fresh in my mind because it was a recent encounter, but it's all the more, it's generic too. We see that many devotees also feel that, am I not being missed by somebody else? They want to feel valued. So in my conversation with one devotee about it, he said, I want to feel valued from each of you. Of course, it's only the Supreme Lord who can give ultimate value to everybody. Normal human beings cannot give value to everybody all the time because they're limited. And so that devotee was actually telling me, it is my need to receive appreciation and value, and you have to satisfy it. And my immediate thought, and even my reply was, we may have needs, but that doesn't mean that every need of ours have to be satisfied. Because if every need were to be satisfied, we are only creating a vortex, we are only creating more cycle of birth and death in trying to satisfy them. We'll have to see how we can take it in relation to the Supreme Lord. Now, the same thing, if you look at it here, there is a need in Mother Sita too, that is Lord Ramachandra not missing me? So bringing it back to our own lives, when we have a need for being valued, being recognized, what do you say about it? Was my response offbeat, and should I have done something better? And my other concern here is, in trying to meet the needs of everybody, it just becomes that it is not, it is making a person go again deeper into, I mean, we are only helping others go deeper into self-absorption, not into something for the common good or for the Supreme Lord or for Parampara, etc. We need to learn to come out of it, recognize and come out. But am I missing something, Prabhu? Can you please elaborate?
So let's, for a moment, take it outside the devotional framework for a moment. Okay, then we'll bring in the devotional side. Just from from the perspective of needs, every human being has, according to Maslow, pyramid of needs, starting with physiological needs, food, sleep, clothing, etc. Then you go refine it further. There's more psychological needs. Then there is friendship, accomplishment, achievement, appreciation, love, and finally he calls it self-actualization on the top. And that may mean different things to different people. But when a need is not fulfilled, there is a certain negative feeling. Sadness, anger, disappointment, pain, etc. And those feelings are experienced by the person. So every human being then is meant to find ways and means. It's called a strategy of how to fulfill those needs, so that they can go from negative feelings to positive feelings of happiness, feeling satiated, comforted, etc. And as one goes, one finds that, or one tries to live a life in which they're able to recognize. 90% of people can't recognize their own needs, first of all. They only have vague sense of feelings but they don't recognize needs. Everyone knows or experiences feelings, but they can't say it or recognize it, what to speak of what need is being unfulfilled at that point. So if someone can say, this is my need, they've actually progressed enough to be able to recognize that. However, to fulfill a need, one cannot demand from another person. It never works. Demands actually are blocks to such connections. So you can make a request. And the request can be made at, in such interactions, I recognize that when I get an appreciation, I feel that what I've contributed is valued. So it's important for me. Can I ask you that you express words of appreciation that you liked it, you did, however. So I know if it is silent, if there's no expression, then I don't know how to assess whether what I'm offering you is valuable or not. You can make a request, but you can't tell anyone you have to. Maybe they didn't mean it that way. I'm just using your words, but demands never work. Demands never work. Now you bring it to within the devotional framework. Yes, relationship with the Supreme Lord is meant to more than enough take care and compensate for all the voids and all the needs, because he can fulfill all of them. That may be at a very advanced level, but while one is moving through still the sadhana bhakti, or as Maharaj calls it, on the side of anishtha, one may recognize that even within the devotional paradigm, I have certain needs. It helps me. It inspires me. It makes me feel happy. While I also recognize that I want to transcend and move to, when those are not there, it doesn't bother me anymore. But the honest places, it's there for me. And I'm requesting. So that honesty is actually good. Along with it should be the recognition that one day I want to grow in my self-actualization to that place where these things are not required. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Maro bhi rakho bhi. It doesn't matter. I may be a dog at your doorstep, which means you don't pay attention to me. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells us, Asle Shava Padaratam Pinashtumam. One day you may be very favorable to me, and another day you may completely neglect me. But that doesn't matter. My relationship with you does not get dented because of that. But that's there on this path further up the hill. But right now I may have a need for acknowledgement, a need for appreciation. So being honest about it is not so bad. But the person should know that this is not the end all be all of it. There is more growth ahead. Do you have any thoughts, Shamakund Prabhu?
Nothing more, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for diving into detail and letting me know. Thank you.
9:36. Any final question? Something or a reflection? One final one?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Stira, go ahead.
Okay. I was just connecting when you said, meaning it was beautiful to like see how Sitadevi is processing, and then the suffering, and then understand that this is also a way to process that Krishna really loves us, and although we are suffering state, it does not mean that there is no love. I was connecting it to I was reading from
Very
Srimad
good.
Bhagavatam. Thank you. Canto 10, and then when you said Sita Devi was feeling joy and separation at the same time, I wanted to just read. It was very sweet. This is Canto 10, Chapter 29, and there is a long purport, verse number 11. It says something to the same effect. It says, it's describing the different types of gopis, and there are Munichari gopis, and some gopis could go to meet Krishna, but then other gopis could not. And so then they are describing the different feelings of each gopis. And so this section that I'm reading is describing the feeling of the gopis who wanted to go but could not go. And then it's very similar to what Sitadevi is feeling. So they are saying, because of their intolerable separation from their beloved, the gopis felt terrible agony. When the gopis meditated on Lord Achyuta, he became manifest and personally came to them, and they experienced great joy by embracing his body, which was full of transcendental love for them. The gopis also experienced great joy by exhibiting personal characteristics of a sense of identification appropriate to such love. Meaning, although they couldn't go, but then in their meditation, when they meditated and Krishna came, they embraced Krishna, and then that was the joy that they were feeling. So they were feeling separation plus joy at the same time. So
Thank you. Beautiful section. Last time when we met, remember as soon as Sita Devi got the ring, what does Valmiki tell us? That she felt the joy as if Sri Ramachandra is standing right in front of her, and that she had achieved or received the presence of Ramachandra for her. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for connecting those. All right. Time for us to soak in during the week. I'll send you the verses. Just soak in what it means, how much there is in the Ramayana, or the same rasa and heart, which this juicy love between Sri Ramachandra and Sita Devi. And thanks to Valmiki for writing it for us. And thanks to Lord Brahma and the empowerment of Saraswati Devi, and ultimately the empowerment of Narada Muni, who wants all living beings like us that are not even aware of such heightened transcendental emotions. We have access for them in words. And for all the acharyas who've preserved it for millions of years and passed it down. Today we are relishing and enjoying because it's a gift from all these acharyas. One after the other, they've dedicated their lives simply to pass it down to us. So we can only accept this with gratitude to whatever degree that we can, and make our lives meaningful and successful. Thank you. We meet again next week. We'll find out what's happening, what Hanumanji says after this. Until then, Shri Shri Sita Rama Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Parampara ki Jai. Sarvam Shri Ram.